Hi guys, welcome back to the shop. Hey, today I've got to fix some inserts and some studs on a Suzuki cylinder. Took this one apart and it had twinserts in it and half of them pulled out. We're talking about the studs that hold the cylinder head down. So we're going to be fixing the three that did come out. And I actually had to work on the ones that stayed in there a little bit because at least I think two of them were they were not flush with the casting, so I had to do a little grinding on those to get them flush. And at the end, I'm going to look at it and see if I can tell with a straight edge how flat that is. If it may need to be put into the mill and the surface resurfaced. So let me get you overhead here and we'll take a look at it. Okay, this is what we've got. This is RM400, 79 and 80. And you can see here where all the head bolts had been repaired, the inserts had. These three pulled out. I'm going to be boring this cylinder, so that's why I had to take the studs out. But anyhow, we lost three of the twinserts. This one here, I had to flatten it. It was really sticking up quite a bit. There is a little bit of room, but that room in the cylinder head is usually meant for this little area here, this stop. Now these, I think, are all right. We're making new studs for them, and these just screw right in there. But you can see on this one where I had to grind quite a bit off that. I actually put it on my surface plate and lapped it a little bit, and it needs some more. That's why I say I may look at setting it up in the mill and seeing if I can just take a couple of thousandths off of it. But we'll see, because I can do that with the surface plate and some sandpaper too. But that's what happened. Here's the ones that came out, and they took a little bit of aluminum out with them, but I think I'm going to be all right to go back in. The issue is that you cannot get the 400 studs anymore. The only thing you can do is you got to go with the 250 studs. Everything's the same except they're a little longer and you need a little more thread. So we'll thread it on down to where it needs to be and then cut it off. Once we cut it off, you're going to have this little unprotected part at the top, and what I do with that, I don't want to go through all the trouble to zinc it, so I just put a little Oxplo blue on it, and that will protect that head. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to put twinserts back in, and we're going to use rock set to put them in, even with the pins driven down. The rock set, I think a lot of these Suzukis are put in with those to start with. These are, you know, in the regular threaded inserts, because they are a son of a gun sometimes to get out. Now the reason I went with rock set is number one, it holds up to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're not going to get any hotter than that here. But the thing with this is you can, if you know it's there, you can loosen it by soaking it in water. And all these holes, if you look down here, there are open holes at the bottom. So you've got an opening there, and of course you've got an opening here. So you're not open, but water can get into to the inside hole. Anyhow, we're able to soak these if we need to get them out, but I don't think I can't even think of a reason why we'd want to get them out. So what I've done is I've already gone ahead and chased the holes here with a 14mm tap. These are 14-1-5, and of course the top is 10-1-2-5. So first thing we need to do is get our inserts put in, and then we'll go over and trim down our studs. Okay, we'll just start out by, there's no way anything is getting into this into the interior threads. So we'll just put a liberal amount of rock set on the outside. And we've got a little tool here. If I can get it, yeah, there we go. So we'll go ahead and screw this in to where it's just below the surface. I think that'll do. Then you turn this so that the little hold downs right here are no longer in the stud when you get it to where you want it. You just kind of split the difference and you whack them down. Looks like they didn't go all the way, so we'll all right, there we go. So those are in. We just don't want to, like I say, you can't, the rock set should not be able to get through because this is a solid insert. But I don't want to put these in for a while because just in case some of that got into the inside, which I don't think it did. But these are going to hold real nice. So I'll go ahead and get the other two in. Okay, so there's the three I just did. These are the three that stayed in. So these should be, we'll give it 24 hours. Of course, this thing ain't going to be put on for a while, but you leave it about 24 hours, or you can speed up the hardening by heating it up to 750 degrees, I think. But no need for that. We got plenty of time to wait. But these, although I took a little bit of aluminum out, these little pins at the very top, it did take some out. I believe with the rock set, we're not going to have any trouble at all. If you do need to go bigger, you can go to a bigger insert. These were just the standard inserts. The 14mm on the outside. They've got oversized ones that go to 16. So you could drill this hole a little bit bigger, but I just think we'll be okay. There's plenty of good threads for it to hook onto below about 1/8 of an inch or so at the top there. So should be all right. Thanks guys. Don't forget the thumbs up. Okay, got this is one here I've already done, and that's all we've got to do. We've got to thread it down just a little bit, and then we'll cut it off and treat it. And the easiest way that I've seen to hold these is to just put it in the lathe with a couple nuts like that on your 3-jaw. right. And then we've got our die here for 10 millimeter 125. I want this back while I'm dripping oil here, and then I'll move it up when I start to cut it off. There's nothing really hard about these threads or the bolts. It's I'd say probably a grade 5, right at that. Just be sure you use good shop practice when you're rethreading. And I got a little further to go, I think. Keep good oil on it. And back up every once in a while to clear those threads. It looks good. All right. And we'll just take this over to the bench grinder and kind of clean that up. And then we'll put our die back on it to make sure it's clean. Okay, I just took it over to the bench grinder and just kind of tapered the end of it there. We'll just stick it back in here and make sure that usually when you do something like that, you kind of bend the threads over a little bit there. Yeah, it's good. All right, that's one, or the second one actually. Of course, it's stuck in the thread there, so we'll put a double nut on it here. There we go. Stuck back here in this one. Okay, so now I should be able to get it, so we'll just go ahead and remove the double nut. There you go. So then to treat that in, just take a little acetone, clean that oil off. And then we'll just take a little oxbow. This is cold bluing is basically what it is. And we'll just let that sit there for about oh, 5 minutes or so, and then take it off and see what it looks like. If it looks like it's treated enough, then it'll be okay. Then we'll just clean it off. It should turn it black like this. Okay, got my surface plate here. Got some. We'll start with some 220, I think, because I think there's a little bit I need to get rid of there, so that'll help. Just use the weight of the cylinder. Okay, so we've looks like we've got, it's kind of high over here, low on this side. So we're going to continue on. Okay, it's looking pretty good there, so I'm going to drop down to 400. So we've got rid of most of the green there, just a little bit around the ring, but everything else looks pretty good. So we'll continue on with the 400 grit just to kind of finish up the surface. Okay guys, there we're done. Looks pretty good on top. I think it's going to be satisfactory. We've got the tops of them treated, so we won't be ending up with rust up there. And I'm going to go ahead and pull these out, but just wanted to show that they're going to be all right there. I'm going to give this at least 24 hours. I'm going to give it longer than that. I won't be ready to bore this for a little while, but it'll be an interesting bore. This one, these are 80 millimeter to start with, and I believe you just get a half and a millimeter for your oversize, and this one is already at 8167. So we're going to be using Mako 440 piston to finish out this. I think we'll be going to, well, if it's at 8167, I'm gonna really get in here and measure, but I really doubt if 82 will clean it up. So we'll probably have to go to 83. But it's good to have pistons that you can utilize. And from what I understand, the 440 Mako piston is just one of those that has the pin size, bearing size, everything's the same. You can actually go up to, I think, 84 millimeters on these. And you can see you've got a sizable sleeve in here. So at some point we're going to bore it, and that's probably how we're going to go. I've still got a couple of helicoils to put in here. I'll probably just put them in every one of them. This one's completely gone, and this one here is not doing too good either. So we'll just replace them all. I think, well, this is the slip fit back here, but everything else is good. Threads are good in here. So I will get into this next. Okay, I've got the cylinder set up here in the mill, and I need to clean this up a little bit. If you look right up here, the muffler has been hitting right there, and it's low right here where it's just worn. And I'm going to take the minimum amount off here. This will probably not clean up completely, but I'll try to clean it up around the port here. I just don't want to take a lot off, But that's, you know, it's just been, it's just worn so much here that it's moving up into the fin. So I really don't want to have to add anything, but if I need to, I guess I will. So I guess I think I'm ready here. We'll see what we can do here on the first pass. I'm not touching anything right there. Just about where I want to be, I think. I'm going to take 2 more thousandths. Well, Let me grab a couple more. Okay, I think that'll do it. Just a little bit up here that didn't clean up, but our manifold should fit on that okay. Okay guys, I'm fresh out of twinserts. You know, they're 4 days away. I've got a couple other projects that I need to work on, a boring job and a crankshaft that I need this milling machine for. This thing is set up at an angle, and it'd probably take me another 30-45 minutes to tear it down and put it back up, and I just don't want to do it. So I think I'm going to make some twinserts myself. Basically, I'm just putting an insert in there, and it's going to thread in just like a twinser, and then be able to be threaded in too, just like a twinser. It won't have the tapered portion at the top, but we'll just we'll stick it in there with some rock set, and it'll stay just fine. So let me get you over here and let's get started on that. Okay guys, thank you very much. Don't forget the thumbs up. Okay, I've determined to make these about, I think the ones you buy are normally about 66, no, I think they're close to a little over ½ inch, the ones I was looking at anyway. So I just measured these up, so that's where we're at, just a little over ½ inch. And I'm just going to take a bolt, and it's not a hard bolt, and these will drill out, tap them to 3/8. That's the same as they would have been done for the twinser. So I'll just mark that there between those two threads, and we'll take this over and put it in the lathe, and we'll cut the head off and then drill it and tap it for 6 millimeter in the middle, and then go ahead and install it into the barrel once we thread it. Okay, I'm going to do this in a collet, that way I don't mess those threads up. I think I can get to that. I have to pull it out just a little bit. Let's call that good maybe. Maybe we'll get her pilot hole put in there. I'm going to use a number 8 for our 6mm pilot for drill size, or tap size rather. And of course we're going all the way through on this one. Okay, there we're through. Okay, nice. So there's our insert. Okay, I've got the other two in. We're putting this one in now. And I was not able to get this one screwed in all the way. I was a little short evidently on my hole. So I'll have to come back with the end mill and clean at least that one up. This one's okay. This was the only one that had any decent threads left in it. I'd like to go a little further. kind of gets with this, so I'm hitting here, so I'm going to have to kind of raise it up and turn it a little bit. Alright. This one may not seat all the way either. That's okay though. Okay, starter tap, and then we'll go to a bottom tap. And of course this is 3/8 16. Okay. And you take a little acetone, clean the threads up, get the oil off. Okay, for this we're going to use rock set. This stuff is good to over 2,000 degrees, so it's not going anywhere. And I'll just take a little short There's all three of them set, and looks like just the one, but I imagine I'll end up taking just kind of a skim cut all the way around. Yeah, looks good. Okay. Looks like it's a success. Well, this is what we've got going on here. It's supposed to be another 8 inches today and tomorrow. So we finally got our winter, or at least for a little while. It's been a very mild year. I'm thankful for that. So there you go, guys. That's our repair to the exhaust. And we've got all our inserts in here now for the studs. Now all that does is hold the slip fit exhaust manifold on there for the expansion chamber. So the 6mm bolts are just fine. I kind of like to keep things the same if I can. We've got our studs that we had to cut off. These are RM250 studs. You can't get the RM400 ones anymore. I could have used these, but they're just you know, kind of raunchy looking, so we put the new ones in if we can get them. And I bought a few of them so that I would have them in case I've got any more of these to do. These, like I say, these studs from the factory are put in with something like Roxette. If you're trying to get them out and can't get them out, soak them in warm water overnight. That's probably your best bet. That's what Roxette says to do. And like I said, this adhesive it's good from about minus 350 degrees Fahrenheit to 2015 degrees Fahrenheit. So we shouldn't have any problem. Even at full throttle runs here, we're probably, you know, 1600 or 1600 Fahrenheit. So, you know, and at idle or whatever, you're not even at 1000 probably. And the same with these up here. You know, you're never going to get over 1000 degrees probably up here. You know, I don't know for sure. Never measured it, but I just, you know, red Loctite is not going to do it. And this stuff, like I said, you've got holes in here underneath them that the water can get into. So just set that in warm water overnight if you can. I know it's going to cool off, but I think it'll still do the trick, and you should be able to get those out. Heating them up isn't going to do it. And the same thing here with this rock set that I'm putting in. Heating this up will not get these out, not like Loctite. Okay guys, there you have it. We repaired every insert on there except the reed valve insert, or the 2 reed valve inserts. That's just the way these things are. On the TS's, the RMs, you can't get those studs out a lot of times, and it's you know, you got to pay somebody to deal with them, and a lot of times they're still going to strip out. I've had a lot of them like that, and these here, all the top ones had already been inserted. They'd been repaired, and the exhaust, all of them had been drilled out and tapped to 5/16, not even 8 millimeters. So you know, that's just the way it is. That's the way it was back in the day. You know, a lot of times we didn't have metric tap and dies, and it was really expensive to buy a metric bolt, and most of the time they were so wimpy, you know, they were like grade 2. You'd probably break them putting them back in. So everybody did that, and I'm guilty of it. We would just drill them, tap them to 1/4 or 5/16, 3/8, whatever we needed to do, and put a SAE a bolt in them, or use a nut. But anyhow, we got that all repaired. So the next time you see that cylinder, we'll be boring it. And like I told you earlier, I think this one's already, it's to 8160 or something like that. So it's for what Suzuki offers, we're past it. But the 440 Mako piston will work in there. The pin size, the height, everything is the same. So I'll be picking one up from Wiseco probably. And I believe when you do this, you've got to use the Mako bearing also, upper bearing. It's just better for that piston. But anyhow, that's what we'll be doing, and I imagine we'll probably have to go to 83. That's my thought anyway. I just don't think we can make 82 on it. So I'm going to measure it up good, and then we'll see what we think we can do, and then we'll order it. So hey, thanks for going along on the ride. See you next video.